You know, some days I just have to remind myself that Zelda Breath of the Wild is a stupid, beautiful game, and that is a stupid, beautiful amount of freaking extra hearts. What the f? Hey everybody, I just started playing a new play session of Zelda because I just got the Nintendo Switch, and we're at the Omen O Shrine, which is basically Aonuma's name mixed up and scrambled. And I'm going to set my map to north, so that way I always know what direction north is. There's a lot of times in quests when they say, oh, in the northwest sky or whatever, and you're like, okay, which way was northwest again? You have to keep looking at the map. This way is much easier. Okay, so first thing I want to do after we jump off the plateau from the Omen O Shrine is grab a horse. And we want the horse that has multiple colors to it, not just a solid colored horse, because then it will be effortless to just go ahead and hitch a ride. You want to ride this horse as best you can, because it'll probably be struggling with you, past these two flags and towards the tip of that sort of tower you can see in the distance there, as well as that large brightly lit tower. I'm going to go ahead and put up a map that I drew for you people right here that's going to show where we're actually going today. We're going to first go through the Faron Grasslands, hit that tower, pass through the jungle, and then hit Faron Tower. And Faron Tower is right next to a little plateau, which is what we're actually going to be heading to today, where you get these amazing, just amazing food items that when you cook give you lots and lots of gold hearts. And they always seem to respawn there next to Faron Tower. Whenever I'm ready to like do a dungeon or a boss fight or even take on Ganon, I always go there and make sure I get at least 15 of these things to cook, so that way I have like 60 hearts to use against the boss, basically. It sort of turns the game into easy mode, but if you're having a really hard time with the boss, I actually had a friend recently tell me that he was actually, his girlfriend was playing Zelda, and she was just not having a good time with one of the particular bosses she was fighting against, and I'm like, I need to make a video showing where these things are. So that's what this video actually is. This is actually to you, Alex. You know who you are. Anyway, okay, so what we're going to do is just go ahead and run right past all these dudes, because, we are not strong enough to fight them. We have, like, wooden boko clubs from, like, the Great Plateau, and we are not swole enough to fight them. So we're just going to go ahead and just jump up the lake tower. I usually go with extra stamina charge, so like the first thing I unlocked was the stamina charge for doing the 4 shrines on the Great Plateau. I have not done any other shrines so far in this playthrough, and you can still just do like 3 good jumps and then climb the rest of the way. Once you've unlocked the plateau tower, you then want to aim your camera basically over in a sort of easterly direction, and there you'll see another tower. And this is the tower that's next to the plateau. You see those little palm trees there on that plateau? Yeah, that's those are the magic palm trees, essentially, that we want to get these fruits out of. Now, the journey here can be a little dangerous, so I recommend trying to glide over as much of it as possible, and if you see anything, don't even try to fight it, because a lot of the enemies here will kind of just kill you in like 2 hits. So you want to just run past them. Even the Octoroks here are actually pretty intimidating. There's also these like electricity wizard dudes that are at the base of the tower. I don't recommend trying to go to town, like toe-to-toe on them, because they will like just own your face. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that you can get to the tower by going up the very plateau that we want to actually get to, and just gliding gently over to near the top of it, and then you can sort of finish off the rest of the journey. There's one of those wizard guys right there I was talking about. Just run away from them, and they'll generally not electrocute you. I actually get hit by one of his shock bolts, and it takes out 2 of my hearts here, and I'm like, get out of there. But, for the most part, it should be a fairly safe trip. I say that, and not sure if it really will be for you. Also, do not do the jump thing on these cliffs. Just scale them. Just scale them normally. Just climb straight up. I sped up the video, obviously, so you didn't have to sit waiting like 30 minutes for me to complete this trip. Also, near the tower, you're going to see this tree. It's a little to the east of the tower. You're going to want to scale that first. That's going to be my like waypoint marker or landmark to go up the rest of the way. You climb past this vine here, and then you don't want to do jumps. I actually do some jumps here, and that ends up not working. You want to just do a normal climb on this wall. You really can get to the top of it, even if it seems like you can't just jumping. You really can. Just use that little bit of extra stamina charge you probably got from one of the shrine unlocks, and now you can just go the rest of the way. I only have 1, So it's not like you have that much extra stamina needed to get up here. And once you're at the top, obviously save, because there's 2 Lizalfos up here, and sometimes there are thunderstorms, more often than not. And there it is, the hardy durian. That right there is the reason we came here. These durians are freaking amazing, and you're going to want 5 of them at least to make your 20+ heart health potion. So you can scale the trees to climb them. Another thing I like to do is shoot them out of the trees with arrows, which I'll demonstrate later. And after I collect about 5 of them here, I go ahead, well, I get 4, and then I go ahead and jump on the tower because I wasn't aware that the 2 Lizalfos have like 3 hardy durians right in front of them, and I'm like, Lizalfos, I don't know if I'm ready, so went ahead and just scaled Farron Tower. So a very easy climb once you get to this part. So, okay, once this tower is unlocked, and by the way, I'm just playing with my HTC Vive VR remote while waiting for the cinema to complete, so enjoy the really silly show that I'm putting on here. How is it doing that? Anyway, so yes, so that unlocks a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I am playing Zelda in VR. If you haven't seen the Zelda in VR, there will be a link at the end of this video to Zelda in VR explaining how I'm playing Zelda and what I'm doing to play the game, because this is a really engaging and fun way to do it, because you can sort of like look to the right and look to the left and actually like look with your head at the very large surrounding environment. But yeah, here, like freaking Aladdin, I just go ahead and dip in and grab 3 of the fruits like Aladdin stealing bread, and now we're going to put 5 of those hardy durians, not eat one, whoops, we're going to put 5 of those hardy durians in our hands and throw them in the pot and cook them. And this creates hearty simmered fruit. Restores your health and temporarily increases your maximum hearts. This sweet dish is made by heaping tasty fruits into a pan and simmering until tender. Now, there are some combinations you can do here that are actually better. If you have hearty truffles, those actually give you a few additional hearts. So if you have some hardy durians and like 2 hardy truffles, just throw them all together in a pot and you'll get like plus 22 or plus 24 hearts depending on how many of the truffles you have. If you have 5 hardy truffles, dang, that's a lot of extra hearts. But yeah, with this, you were pretty much ready to take on Ganon. I mean, obviously you want to do this a few times, not just one time. But once again, just to show on the in-game map where it is, you just go straight there. That's the very first thing I did as soon as I left the Great Plateau. I haven't done anything else. I just went right there because I'm like, I want lots of hearts, because extra hearts are good. Now, obviously there's some drawbacks. You can't replenish the hearts. The hardy durians do seem to grow back fairly slowly, like right there where there were 3, there's now only 1 on the ground. But they do come back pretty frequently, and you'll notice that they're frequent enough that you can usually get about like 15 of them, which is 60 extra hearts, basically. If you're only using the hardy durians and you're not using the hardy truffles. If anybody out there in the comment section has even better ideas on how to get lots of gold hearts fast, I'd like to hear them. I also would like to know an easy way to get lots of gold stamina boosts as well, because having additional stamina, even if it's temporary, is so great for a situation where you just need to run the heck away from something. And there's the only way I know to do it is with potions, using a particular, I think it was an insect or frog. I don't really remember what the ingredient was. It's been too many days since I made that potion. But and that was on the Wii U version, so now I'm like all disoriented again. But anyway, point is, shoot at the durians if you want to be, cool, and then they'll fall out of the tree. And you can pick up the arrow, but make sure you pick up the arrow first, because for some reason when you pick up the durian, it like despawns the arrow attached to it, which is kind of disappointing. So be careful how you pick it up. The in-game physics will sometimes work against you here when you think you're about to pick up the arrow and you pick up the durian and you're like, ah, darn. It's kind of fun to make a little game of it when you're going grocery shopping. I consider this like in-game grocery shopping at this point if I want to just play a little easy mode for a while. And, if I'm having trouble, this just makes playing through the game much, much, much better and simpler. And, not having to worry about your health means you get to focus on other things like story, combat, all the other fun stuff you want to be focusing on that doesn't necessarily involve dying. But anyway, yes, that's my video. Thanks for watching, everybody out there. There's going to be some links after this that are using the new annotation system that YouTube got rid of annotations with, and I hope your days of playing Zelda are rain-free, unlike mine. Ugh.